So then part two of the implosion of Donald Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, is after putting out that unintelligible statement I told you about earlier, where it sort of seemed like he was backtracking on some of the things he said about the $130,000 Stormy Daniels hush money repayment by Trump to Michael Cohen. Rudy Giuliani appeared on ABC's Sunday morning talk show this week, and he dismissed his own statements as mere rumors and then contradicted himself multiple times, right? I'm going to play this for you, and I want to prepare you. Because of the hyper-normalization, right, are becoming accustomed to realities that would have been inconceivable before the Trump era, the interview I'm about to play might not immediately strike you as the unhinged drivel that it is, but we have to contextualize it. I'm about to play a clip for you from an interview where the attorney charged with speaking to Robert Mueller on behalf of the President of the United States is being interviewed. This is not some lawyer that your landlord hires to evict a tenant, right? This is the former mayor of New York City, hired by the President of the United States to represent him in something that could conceivably expose alleged criminal activity by a sitting president. And this is how his lawyer represents him on national television. Take a look.
But on the other day, you also told BuzzFeed, though, that at some point after the 2016 election, Michael Cohen had complained to some people that he hadn't been paid by Donald Trump. And that so then you said Cohen met with Trump and told him, and Giuliani said that we'll cover your expenses. They worked out this $35,000 a month retainer after that. So the president did know about this after the campaign.
I can't say that. I mean, at some point, yes, but it could have been recently. It could have been a while back. Those are the facts that we're still working on, and that, may be in a little bit of dispute. This is more rumor than it is anything else.
Well, that's what you said. You said that to BuzzFeed.
That's the best. But Rudy Giuliani says these are mere rumors, and George Stephanopoulos points out, well, you're the source. Like, I'm quoting you here. If you're dismissing the Stormy Daniels hush money repayment and installments from Trump to Cohen as a rumor, that's a rumor you started. So how does Rudy Giuliani respond? This is his answer to that.
But here's well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the possibilities and one of the rumors. The reality is...
You stated it as fact.
Well, maybe I did, but right now I'm at the point where I'm learning, and I can't prove that. I can just say it's rumor. I can prove it's rumor, but I can't prove it's fact. Yeah, maybe we will.
It's rumor. That's right. He can prove it's a rumor of a fact, but he's not yet ready to prove the factual nature of the rumor of the fact, which, by the way, all came from him. Didn't Trump hire this guy? Like, wouldn't the first thing he would go to Trump and say is, well, give me the facts so that I don't end up spreading rumors on television, right? Like, is Trump admitting to paying Cohen back or not? And if you can't get the information from the guy who's just hired you, maybe this is not a guy you should be working for, right? And here it continues, and it only gets worse.
But you've said as a matter of fact on Hannity and BuzzFeed. You talked to the Washington Post about it.
I don't know. How do you separate fact and opinion?
Well,
when I state an opinion, I'll say this is my opinion, and when I state a fact, I'll say
you said the president worked out a retainer agreement with Michael Cohen after the election in order to repay him for the settlement to Stormy Daniels.
The second part of it, the last part of it, the retainer agreement was to repay expenses, which turns out to have included this one, to the woman that you saw on Saturday Night Live last night, trying to make more money. And now our NDA with her seems to be irrelevant because she wants to break it up because she wants to make a lot more money than $130,000. I never thought $130,000. I know this sounds funny to people there at home. I never thought $130,000 was a real payment. It's a nuisance payment. When I settled this when it was real or a real possibility, it's a couple $1 million, not $130,000.
Let's get back to the couple $1 million thing, because that's stunning. Language has no meaning anymore, right? Even though he literally went on Hannity and said, this is what took place, we should have realized that what he meant was, these are rumors which I'm creating about what took place. It's not actually what happened. It's my opinion as just a random guy about one possibility of what might have happened. It's Orwellian doublespeak at its finest. And then at the end, he throws that thing in where he says, listen, $130,000 isn't even really big enough to be a payoff for something serious anyway. This would have been, if I was involved in actually settling this, it would have been a couple $1 million. That's not a great thing to say. That's exactly what Stormy Daniels was saying during the 60 Minutes interview, which is she only agreed to accept $130,000 because she was being intimidated but she actually would have wanted and potentially could have gotten more based on the damage that she could have done to Donald Trump before the campaign. It is a comedy of boneheaded stupidity. And then, of course, the final question is, well, why hasn't Trump been honest about all this?
But
People don't go away for 130,000 of a meritorious
You did
claim.
call it a settlement payment. The president did make these payments to Michael Cohen over the course of 2017, according to you. Then why did, on April 5th, why did the president deny any knowledge of the payments when, in fact, he had
Well,
made
I don't
the
know.
payments?
I don't know when the president learned about it. He could have learned about it after, or not connected the whole thing at that time.
It was crazy. Trump was just so confused. He had no idea what was going on. This is gaslighting, folks, plain and simple, and it might be catalyzed by incompetence in the people surrounding Trump, but the impact is gaslighting, as I have been discussing, and this confuses the average person. Apparently, Trump was also confused because Trump lied because Rudy said Trump made the payment, but here's Rudy saying that the word of the payment was just a rumor that he started. It's not actually something that he's investigated. It makes no sense, and it makes such little sense that even Neil Cavuto, as I told you about earlier on the program, had to go out there and say, Mr. President, you're really not making any sense here. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month. And every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.